this video, I'll explore Maslow's hierarchy of needs and its development from 5 distinct needs to 8 needs. And watch until the end of this video, as I'll also correct some common misconceptions about this model. In 1958, Abraham Maslow introduced a third force in psychology, known as humanistic psychology. The first 2 schools being psychoanalysis and behaviourism. Like Carl Rogers, the founder of person-centred counselling, Maslow placed great emphasis on the uniqueness of the person and their subjective experience. Now, this stance was very different from the psychoanalytic method, which emphasised unconscious motives, and the behaviourists who focused on overt behaviour. Maslow's view of human nature was essentially optimistic. It involved the search for satisfying relationships, knowledge, self-awareness, and the development of rich emotional experiences. Maslow was interested in learning about what makes people happy and the things they do to achieve that aim. And as a humanistic psychologist, he believed we have an inborn desire to be self-actualised, that is, to be all we can be. However, in order to achieve self-actualisation, we must first meet a number of more basic needs. This is illustrated in Maslow's famous hierarchy of needs model, which he first introduced in the 1943 paper A Theory of Human Motivation. Maslow later refined this theory in his 1954 book Motivation and Personality. Fundamental to Maslow's hierarchy are the basic physiological needs for food, water, air, shelter, sleep and warmth, which are all essential in order to maintain biological well-being and survival. Maslow also included sexual reproduction in this level of the hierarchy, since it's essential for the survival of the human race. Maslow considered physiological needs the most important, as all the other needs become secondary until these needs are met. If our basic needs of food, water, shelter and warmth are absent, then death is the result. Maslow recognised his model gave the false impression that needs have to be fulfilled completely before higher level needs can be met. In reality, needs only have to be met in part. So when our basic physiological needs are met in part or sufficiently met, we move to safety needs. Safety needs include the need to feel both physically and psychologically safe. This involves feeling safe from illness, threat and violence. And it also represents feeling safe from family problems, financial difficulties or unemployment. So finding a job, saving money and moving to a safe area of town are all examples of actions motivated by our safety needs. According to Maslow, when our need for safety is threatened, emotional disturbance usually follows. Relationship needs are concerned with the giving and receiving of love, affection and feelings of belonging. According to Maslow, we all possess a need for a sense of belonging and acceptance among social groups. So this may include feeling a sense of belonging to your family, friends, religious group, an online community, even sports teams and work colleagues. If we don't experience a sense of love or belonging, we become susceptible to loneliness, lack of self-confidence and depression. The need to feel competent and confident about your own ability to solve problems is implicit in the next set of needs, esteem needs. So this includes the need for respect from others, such as status and recognition. Maslow called this lower esteem needs. Lower esteem needs are based on how others see you. We also have higher esteem needs, which is the need for self-respect, self-competence, feelings of mastery and self-confidence. Higher esteem needs are based on how you view yourself. Gaining academic qualifications, athletic participation, hobbies and work can all play a role in fulfilling your esteem needs. If you satisfy your esteem needs, you'll have a good sense of personal worth, competence, confidence and emotional well-being. If your esteem needs are not satisfied, then you may experience negative thoughts about yourself and feelings of inferiority. At the peak of Maslow's hierarchy is a need for self-actualisation and the drive towards knowledge and the realisation of your full potential. So this is about the desire to accomplish everything that you can, to become the most that you can be. This can be a desire to be the best parent, create great art, develop your athletic performance, create music, and so forth. It's completely unique to you. Maslow identified several characteristics of the self-actualised person, which include the ability to be truly objective and perceive reality accurately, spontaneity of thought and action, a willingness to try new experiences, an odd sense of humour, the acceptance of self and others, autonomy and self-reliance, the ability to form deep and satisfying personal relationships, originality and creativity, the ability to tolerate uncertainty. I've just discussed Maslow's original 5-stage model, but in the 1970s he upgraded his model to include cognitive needs and aesthetic needs. Cognitive needs refer to the desire to learn, explore and gain knowledge. Aesthetic needs refers to the motivation to view a beautiful piece of art, listen to a pleasing piece of music, or enjoy your surroundings when walking in nature. The idea being that you don't want to just live, but you do so with beauty around you. Just before Maslow's death, he added another dimension to the hierarchy, self-transcendence. This involves transcending your personal concerns and seeing yourself, life and others from a higher perspective. So spirituality or giving back to the community without any self-interest. Buddha, sages and religious saints are all examples of people that reach transcendence. Self-transcendence can bring strong positive emotions like joy, peace and self-awareness. Maslow divided his hierarchy into deficiency needs and growth needs. The first 4 levels are known as deficiency needs and the top levels are known as growth or being needs. Deficiency needs stem from deprivation and motivate you when they are met. For example, the longer you go without food, water or shelter, the more desperate you become. That need will become all-consuming until it's met. Meeting these needs is vital to avoid unpleasant feelings. At the highest levels of the hierarchy are growth needs, so this doesn't stem from a lack of something, it's actually motivated from a desire to grow and develop as a person. There are a lot of misconceptions about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. First, Maslow never depicted his model as a pyramid or triangle. If you pick up a textbook, it's usually depicted that way, but this never actually came from Maslow. Later in life, Maslow recognised his model gave the false impression that needs have to be fulfilled completely before higher levels of needs can be met. In reality, needs only have to be met in part. He also clarified that needs coexist and compete for fulfilment. Let's imagine you're enjoying a beautiful walk in the woods, meeting your higher order aesthetic needs. When suddenly the weather takes a turn for the worse, it starts to snow and the temperature drops significantly. Your motivation would quickly change to that of warmth and shelter, your basic physiological needs. So the hierarchy is shifting all the time based on external circumstances and your moment-to-moment needs. So the hierarchy is actually fluid and organic, not rigid and fixed. So what are your thoughts about Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Is it useful, relevant, outdated? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Please comment below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you soon.